Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Fearless Friday Power Up Tips, where I'm going to be talking to you about some of the things that you might do and might not do to deal with those leaders who only seem to have one tool for managing performance, and that's get frustrated or pissed off and start to overpower and push rather than lead their employees. This is not uncommon. Most leaders don't get the amount of training that they actually need to be able to manage the performance of their direct reports. In our Leadership Foundation program, I often find myself talking to leaders who are having some difficulty either because they are being overpowered and their manager isn't allowing them to either have a voice or make their own decisions, or with leaders who just tend to pick on people just for the purpose of showing off and showing what a great leader they are at the expense of their employees. All human beings need to struggle with personal power and then add to that role power, position power, even the power of being a certain age because of the expectations it puts on us. And without consciousness around it, without self-awareness, and that awareness that I really don't have the skills to deal with this situation effectively, maybe I should just put it on pause for a second, go do some reading or talk to somebody about it before I deal with this, then they're going to use and resort to that self-protective power, the aggressive power, because it makes them, the person using power in that way, feel like they're accomplishing something. The converse of that, of course, is when we give our power away, and there's this duality in relationships where you have an autocratic leader who is overpowering and holding on to power. The only people that can tolerate working for them are people who are willing to give their power away and absent themselves from the responsibility of thinking things through. Quite often when we're in survival, we get stuck in that place. So what do we do about it when we have this bit of a one-note Johnny whose only note is to be aggressive and overpower, that bull in the china shop approach to leading? You know, the one that when you go to them and say, I'm having trouble with that, they snatch it out of your hands and, do it, and I don't have time for this, and make you feel about an inch high. And so in dealing with that, the first thing is to really be on guard around your own emotional response to it. Remember, this is a sign that this leader is incompetent. And when I say incompetent, it doesn't mean they aren't functionally sound. They don't know what they're doing, running their functional area or their team. On the work side of things, it simply means that they don't know how to manage their frustration. They don't know how to carve out time to nurture and coach and bring their people along, and so they react. And most importantly, do not react to them. Because if you take their behavior personally, you can get pulled into either feeling like you're really not good enough or smart enough, and it can trigger, an imposter syndrome flare up in you. But just holding your own and really protecting your self-esteem, that their response wasn't warranted. And if you choose to speak to that type of behavior, always do it with the softness and firmness that the situation warrants. I didn't come for you to take it back. However, should you choose to do it, I'm fine with that. In this example, that might work. Or, okay, well, thank you for taking it back, and I hope at some point you'll have time to show me how to do it more effectively. I only had a few questions. It is not about you, and their reaction speaks volumes about what they need, how to manage themselves and their emotions. And we really do need to resist that tendency to go and badmouth them to make ourselves feel better. Sort of soothes us when we can go and, to a coworker and say, my boss, he's a real D-I-C-K, Richard, and he's always the same, and what am I doing working here? Knowing full well you're not going to leave because you love your job, but you just don't love your leader's behavior. And the final thing is that for any leader listening to this, people leave their leaders. If you're not establishing a real relational connection with your people, that doesn't mean talking about their weekend and their babies and, listening to all of the trials and tribulations of their life. It simply means that you are giving your employees due respect and really taking responsibility for your job of giving your employee what they need. So until next time, a few tips for dealing with your autocratic leader who abuses power in the organization. I got a million of these. Bye for now.